My friend asked me to film a video with her pretending to be stepsisters for that site.
Have you ever had one of those moments, where a friend, someone you've known for ages, comes to you with an opportunity that just makes you stop and think, wait, what did they just say? Like, really?
Yeah, definitely been there. Not maybe this specific scenario, but...
Right. So today, we're getting into a really interesting situation. It's kind of at the crossroads of friendship, this whole world of digital content creation, and honestly, a pretty tempting bit of cash.
Yeah, tricky intersection.
Absolutely. Our mission here is to really unpack what happened, look at the details, and see what insights we can pull about, balancing friendships, maybe digital side hustles, and that financial pull.
Sounds fascinating. Let's dive in.
Okay, so our story today revolves around a listener, she's 27, and her friend, Kelsey. They've known each other since high school. Casual friends, texts, brunch sometimes.
Right, standard long-term casual friendship.
Right. Exactly. Now, the listener describes Kelsey as the wild one. And lately, Kelsey's been really into content creation. Think OnlyFans, spicy Patreon, that kind of thing.
Okay, so platforms where creators monetize exclusive, often adult-themed content.
Precisely. And our listener, totally non-judgmental, even admired Kelsey's success from afar. But it was always separate from their friendship until, last week.
Until.
Yeah. It kicked off with a super casual text from Kelsey. Just, hey, what are you doing next Saturday? Need you for a quick video.
Okay, seems innocent enough on the surface. Holding a phone, maybe?
That's exactly what our listener thought. Like adjusting a ring light for Instagram or something. But then the voice note dropped.
Uh-oh.
In that very specific, oh-so-casual tone Kelsey apparently uses for the truly unhinged request.
I think I know that tone.
Right. Kelsey reveals it's for a top subscriber and the theme STEPSISTERS for, that site.
Wow. Okay. Stepsisters.
And here's the kicker. She specifically wanted our listener because, and this is a direct quote, she actually looks like me for believability.
Oof. That adds a whole other layer. The resemblance factor.
Totally. The pitch was cute, flirty stuff, matching PJs, shorts, and tanks. And Kelsey promises nothing super explicit for you, I promise.
For you.
Qualification there.
Exactly. I'll edit it so it looks spicy, but you don't have to actually do anything sexual. It's just implied. And crucially, you'd get half the cut.
That's quite the proposition.
Oh.
Leveraging the friendship, the look-alike factor, the promise of minimal involvement for a big payout. What kind of psychological pressure does that put on someone?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? When it comes from a friend, someone you trust.
It's harder to say no. It feels personal. That framing of implied content, plus the money it's designed to lower your guard, maybe make you question your own boundaries. A no suddenly feels like you're rejecting the friend, not just the gig. Our listener actually laughed at first, thought it had to be a joke.
Understandable reaction.
But then, boom, Google Doc in her inbox. Title, Concept Notes.
Oh, so it was serious. Very serious.
Deadly serious. And not just vague ideas, disturbingly detailed, she said. Like, we start in the kitchen, maybe making coffee, lots of giggling and playful shoving. There was even a specific line she was supposed to deliver.
A script.
Pretty much. You can be like, Kelsey, stop that, in a cute, bratty voice. Did a costume change. It was all laid out.
Wow, Kelsey's treating this like a proper production.
Completely. Our listener said Kelsey was approaching it like a business. Rates, plan, wardrobe ideas. She even sent a Venmo screenshot from a previous similar video she'd done with someone else.
Showing the money, proof of concept, proof of payment.
Exactly. And we're talking significant money, like pay off a credit card kind of money.
That's a major pressure point, especially now, with the economy, side hustles. That kind of cash offer really tests your limits. It's almost a professionalization of the personal ask.
So you can picture our listener, right? Sitting there, maybe eating Tringles, as she said, just grappling with this huge conflict.
Yeah. The classic head versus gut.
Totally. I really need the money right now. I really, really don't want to be immortalized on the internet as Kelsey's stepsister.
That phrase says it all. Immortalized.
And Kelsey, sensing the hesitation, immediately starts trying to, sweeten the deal. Reiterating no explicit stuff needed from listener, Kelsey would do all that solo, offering safe angles so her face wouldn't be clear.
But safe angles aren't really safe online, are they?
That's exactly what the listener thought. She was like, as if some Reddit detective wouldn't figure it out from my nail polish color or the mug in my hand.
She's absolutely right to worry. That idea of digital permanence is huge. Things don't just disappear online, and people are incredibly good at piecing things together from tiny details. Safe angles. That's minimal protection these days, realistically. AI, reverse image search. It's getting easier, not harder, to connect dots.
Her mind just spiraled. She pictured someone from her super boring corporate office finding it, HR calling her in.
A legitimate career concern.
Then the thought of her mom, who apparently still sends her Facebook reels of baby goats somehow stumbling across this.
Oh, God. Yeah, the family factor.
And maybe the biggest fear, her future self, 5 years from now, regretting it every time I Google my own name.
That hits deep. It's not just about the present moment or the money. It's about the long-term impact on your identity, your reputation, your peace of mind. These aren't just vague anxieties. They're real potential consequences in our hyper-connected world.
So in the end, she turned it down.
Good for her, sticking to her guns.
Yeah, she just said she wasn't comfortable, even if it was just acting. And Kelsey, surprisingly chill about it, understood, left the door open, basically.
Interesting reaction. Professional, almost.
Right. And the final twist, Kelsey actually sent her a clip later of the video she ended up making with someone else.
Oh, wow. How did it look?
Our listener said it looked ridiculously convincing, which just led to this wave of low-key relief that she'd said no.
I bet. Dodged a digital bullet, perhaps. What a story. It really is a powerful case study for navigating these tricky modern situations.
Definitely. So wrapping this up, what's the final thought you'd leave our listener and everyone listening with?
Well, I think it circles back to boundaries. In this era where content creation constantly blurs the lines between what's personal and what's professional or even performative, you really have to ask yourself, what are the true costs beyond just dollars and cents of the opportunities that might come through our relationships? And maybe more importantly, how do we get clear on and then firmly hold on to our personal lines in the sand? That's something worth reflecting on long after this deep dive ends.
My boss offered me an unofficial promotion in exchange for,
You know that feeling, right? You
Yeah.
put your head down, you work hard, you fix those typos, stay late, go the extra mile. You're thinking, okay, this is it. This is how I get ahead. You expect that effort gets noticed, that promotion is coming. You might have felt that yourself.
Oh, absolutely. We're often taught, aren't we, that merit, hard work.
Yeah.
That's the key.
The movement.
You put in the time, the energy, and you expect a fair return, something straightforward.
Yeah. What happens when that path, the one you expected, takes a really dark, kind of unsettling turn? When the opportunity you've been gunning for suddenly comes with these deeply uncomfortable strings attached.
Yeah.
That's really the heart of what we're digging into today. We're looking at this really compelling anonymous account from Reddit.
Right.
It's a thread titled, "My boss offered me an unofficial promotion. The user is your throwaway cubicle hell."
And our mission here really is to unpack what this person went through. We need to look at the power dynamics, that imbalance, between the boss, Michael, and the employee, and dissect the language he used, which is chilling.
It really is. And the awful choices this person is facing, feeling completely trapped.
Okay, let's get into it. So this user, they're at a marketing agency, right? And they thought things were looking up.
Yeah, getting praise, more notice. Even the boss, Michael, asking them for coffee sometimes, seemed positive.
Then comes last Tuesday. After a really tough client meeting, Michael asks them to stay behind.
And the user describes their heart just racing, thinking, okay, maybe this is it, the raise, the promotion.
But no, Michael closes the conference room door, and the user says his smile was weird, made them instinctively take a step back. He starts talking about being really impressed, their potential, the usual buildup, and then mentions a senior role sooner rather than later.
Right, setting the stage. But then this is where it just veers off completely.
Exactly. Michael pauses, lets the tension build, and then drops it. Of course, there's the unofficial route.
The unofficial route. Wow. So the user asks, what do you mean?
And Michael leans back, crosses his arms, picture this, and says, sometimes it's about more than just work performance.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes it's about relationships. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Ugh. That phrase, it's so loaded.
It is. And what's really insidious here is how ambiguous it is, deliberately so.
Right. Plausible deniability.
Exactly. He makes an offer you can't easily report, can you? But the meaning is crystal clear. It's not a mistake. It's a classic awful tactic.
We're workplace grooming, basically, exploiting vulnerability.
Yeah, creating this sense of like illicit complicity. The user said their brain just short-circuited. They laughed nervously, hoping maybe it was some terrible joke.
But he didn't laugh back.
No, just looked at them, waiting. He even added, "You're a smart girl. I think you do," meaning you understand what I'm implying.
That's just gut-wrenching. That feeling when the ground just shifts beneath you.
Totally. So the user faked getting a phone call, just got out of there fast.
Smart move in the moment.
Spent the rest of the week avoiding him, working from home, just trying to disappear into spreadsheets.
But Michael didn't just let it go, did he?
No, he followed up, sent a Slack message. "Think about what I said. Could be the start of something great for you."
The pressure, just reinforcing that control he's trying to exert.
So, yeah, this brings us right to the core problem, the agonizing part. What do you do?
When you're genuinely trapped. This person needs the job. They listed out student loans, rent going up, an old car that's barely running. Quitting isn't an easy option.
Not at all. But the idea of facing Michael every day makes their skin crawl, they said.
And the HR situation sounds tricky. Michael's been there a while, brings in big clients, and apparently he's buddy-buddy with the CEO.
Right. The power imbalance is huge.
Yeah.
And the user is realistic about it. If it becomes their word against his, well, they said, "I know exactly how that movie ends."
Yeah, sadly predictable in too many cases. So they're just stuck in this awful limbo, trying to do their job, act normal, but dreading every notification, every interaction.
It really is an impossible spot. Choosing between keeping your job, your stability, and, well, your dignity, essentially.
Facing a boss who's just weaponizing his position.
And, you know, this leads to a really powerful, maybe cynical, but insightful comment from the user in the post. They said, "A tiny cynical part of me isn't even shocked. Like, of course this is how it works. Of course the promotion comes with strings."
Yeah. That hits hard, doesn't it? Like the expectation of unfairness is almost built in for some people. It really makes you think, you know. What does that say about the unspoken rules in some workplaces? The real cost of just trying to get by, to navigate these situations. What does it actually mean when opportunity isn't about your talent or your work, but maybe about, as the user put it, who's willing to sell their soul cheaper?
It's a heavy question.
Definitely something to chew on.
My sister asked me to be her surrogate, but her husband is my ex.
So imagine a family situation, right? One that's so tangled up and just plain awkward it makes, I don't know, your drunk uncle fighting over the chili recipe look tame. That's really the level of dilemma where it comes straight from a Reddit post. And the user titled it pretty perfectly, "The Surrogate Dilemma."
Yeah, perfectly titled. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to, well, unpack the incredible emotional complexities here and the huge boundary challenges that pop up when you mix deep family ties, past relationships, and these massive life-altering decisions. Specifically, we're looking at it through this unique lens of a surrogacy request within a family. The goal is really to pull out some key insights, you know, things you can actually use about navigating these super personal choices when the family dynamics are just incredibly intricate.
Exactly. And this isn't based on a bunch of different sources. This deep dive is pretty much tailored from just one single anonymous Reddit post. It was shared by the user SubThReddit, and it's just a really raw, very candid account of a woman facing what honestly feels like an impossible choice. It makes you really think about the layers, you know, beneath what you first see. So let's set the stage a little. The user, she's 29, female, lives in a smaller Midwest city. You know the type, where dating pools can kind of overlap quite a bit. Which is how she met Jason. He was her boyfriend for about 2 years back in her early 20s. Apparently charming, funny, but also notoriously unreliable, prone to just disappearing. The relationship ended pretty cleanly. She just got fed up with, as she puts it, Jason things.
Right, done with the drama.
Pretty much. So fast forward 4 years, her sister Emily introduces the family to her new boyfriend. And surprise, it's Jason. So how does that kind of pre-existing, maybe unresolved baggage, how does that fundamentally change the whole emotional landscape for any future request from this particular sister and, well, her now husband?
That's the core of it, isn't it? It's fascinating because that past relationship, it's not just history. It becomes this like pre-existing condition. It's a foundational layer of complexity right from the start.
Yeah.
So when Emily, who's apparently been very open about her really devastating fertility issues, multiple failed IVF rounds, a miscarriage, just heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, really tough.
When she then asks her sister, our user, to be their surrogate, It stops being just a simple request for help. It's an ask that basically forces this past romantic connection, no matter how long ago, to kind of fuse with a future family role. And that just creates this immediate, really profound psychological dissonance. It's just inherently awkward and deep.
And it gets even more complicated. Apparently, Emily said she wanted someone she trusted, someone who wouldn't, quote, be weird about it. But our user's mind was just like spiraling. She's picturing being pregnant with her ex-boyfriend's biological child, her sister's husband's child, going through all the, her words, gross, invasive, hormonal pregnancy stuff while seeing his face at every ultrasound.
Wow.
And then picturing family holidays, looking at a child who is, biologically speaking, Jason's and mine, except not mine. She called it her personal nightmare Mad Libs. How would you even describe that specific psychological burn? It goes way beyond just, awkward.
Oh, absolutely. That phrase, nightmare Mad Libs, it's so telling. It isn't just awkwardness. It points to this profound sense of psychological enmeshment, I'd call it.
Yeah.
It's feeling of being asked to violate your own really deeply held personal boundaries, your own history.
Yeah.
Her description of feeling like an onion, with all these layers of weirdness.
Yep.
The past intimacy, the fact that Emily seems maybe oblivious or maybe chooses to be, the whole ex-girlfriend, aunt-mom hybrid role, it all speaks to this intense feeling of like self-violation almost. And then you add the mother being on board, saying things like, wouldn't it be beautiful for you to give them this gift? It would bring the family even closer.
Oh, wow. The mom, too.
Right. And that just perfectly illustrates how even well-meaning family pressure, dressed up in sentiment, can really subtly undermine your personal autonomy. That gift isn't really selfless if it comes at the expense of the giver's fundamental well-being, their sanity even.
That's such a crucial distinction. So understandably, she's been losing sleep. She's torn between this powerful guilt, right? Potentially letting her sister down in this huge way, but also an even stronger gut feeling that doing this would, quote, mess me up emotionally in ways I can't even predict. She knows it means Jason, the same unreliable ex, would be tangled up in another massive chapter of her life, whether she wants him there or not. So she's decided. She's decided to say no.
And, that's a really powerful act of self-preservation, especially when you consider the immense complex pressure she's under. She anticipates Emily will be crushed, that her mom will probably call her selfish, that Jason will do his, quote, fake understanding thing. But her reasoning is just so clear. She says, this is my body, my boundaries. And no amount of Hallmark family sentiment is going to make me sign up for the most awkward pregnancy in the history of awkward pregnancies. And that, right there, it distills down to such a vital insight. Just because you can fulfill a deeply personal request, especially one like this, doesn't mean you should. Particularly when it involves such a huge personal cost or this really complicated, unresolved history.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole deep dive, it just hammers home the necessity, the absolute need for setting clear personal boundaries. Even when you're facing enormous family pressure and, truly heartbreaking circumstances like these fertility struggles, the user's internal conflict, that whole onion feeling with layers of just psychological burden, and then her final decision to protect her body, my boundaries, against that Hallmark family sentiment. It's just an incredibly powerful reminder, isn't it, about safeguarding your own well-being.
It really is. And it definitely makes you think, doesn't it? It leaves you with this question. When is empathy a strength, which it usually is? And when does it actually become a risk to your own well-being? Especially when the people asking are family members, people you share this really complicated and, frankly, unresolved history with. In that case, it really pushes you to consider that line between selfless giving and essential self-preservation, particularly within these really intimate family dynamics. Makes you think.
My grandpa sold our family house so he could fly to California for a reunion concert of a band from his youth.
That really has people asking, is this the most selfish thing imaginable? Or maybe the most badass.
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating here is how, one person's spontaneous choice, seemingly spontaneous anyway, can just completely rewrite a family's future.
Right.
So our mission in this deep dive is to explore a Reddit post. It's about a grandpa who made this pretty unthinkable move.
Unthinkable is the word.
Yeah, selling the family house, a home they'd had for over 50 years. Bought back in the 70s for maybe, $25,000?
Wow.
All to fund just one single epic experience.
And it really is epic. We're going to explore, the motivations behind such a drastic decision and the ripple effect, the seismic ripple effect it had. Because this isn't just about a house, right? It's about dreams, it's about priorities, and some serious rock and roll.
Definitely rock and roll.
So get ready for this. Our source is a Reddit post from a user, Midwest Mishap. And they paint this picture of just pure shock.
You can imagine.
This person, 27 from Illinois, wakes up one Wednesday expecting, oatmeal.
Yeah.
And instead gets this bombshell call from their grandpa. Sold the house. Going to California. Rolling Stones are back together. Can't miss it.
Just like that. Wow.
Just like that. Imagine. The family home, passed down for decades.
Yeah.
Gone in a snap. The narrator, they initially thought it had to be a joke, Grandpa's dry sense of humor.
Right, you'd hope it was a joke. But it turns out this wasn't quite the snap decision it maybe sounded like on that call. The grandpa, well, he had actually been quietly watching the housing market for months, even had a Zillow guy over to check things out, quote unquote.
Sneaky.
A little bit. But what really, kicked it into high gear was seeing a Facebook ad. It was for a Legends of Rock reunion tour.
Oh, okay. The trigger.
Exactly. We're talking the Rolling Stones, the Who, other bands from his youth that, according to the Post, meant everything to him in the 60s.
And he didn't just want to go right. He wanted to do it right.
Oh, yeah. That meant VIP packages. $4,000 each.
Whoa.
First-class flights, staying at some historic hotel in Beverly Hills. Even renting a convertible.
Living the dream. But the logic gets me.
Tell me about it.
He refused to touch his retirement savings because, quote, that's for emergencies.
Right.
Apparently, selling your fully paid off family home for a rock concert,
Yeah.
not an emergency.
It's a unique interpretation of emergency, that's for sure. Though, maybe for someone nearing 80, perhaps a lifetime of wanting an experience like that does feel like an emergency worth solving.
Maybe. A different kind of emergency. So what happened when he told the rest of the family?
Pretty much pure chaos, as you'd expect. The narrator's mom cried.
Yeah.
Their uncle apparently called him a reckless old man.
Yeah.
And the cousin just wanted the pool table. Great timing.
Always won. And Grandpa?
Totally unfazed, just completely calm. When they asked him, what he'd do after the concert, he just shrugged. Said, maybe Vegas, maybe Mexico. Maybe I'll just come back and rent something. Life's short, kid.
Life's short, kid. And that, I think... that's where the real conflict is, isn't it? For the narrator and, for us thinking about this.
Definitely.
Is this the most selfish thing ever? Messing up family plans, sentimental value, or is it the most badass move? Just pure pursuit of joy.
Right. You got the practical side. The narrator's now scrambling, needing a roommate because they were supposed to move into that house eventually.
Oh, plans ruined.
Other family members, too. Their long-term plans just, poof, gone. But then, on the other hand... This is a 78-year-old guy who apparently still drives better than I do and knows every single lyric to Paint It Black.
And he sent that text from L.A., right?
Yep. Front row. Mick looks old but still moves like a snake. Best night of my life.
So the narrator felt
Wait.
angry, jealous.
A mix, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Pissed off? Yeah. But also maybe jealous. And maybe even a strange kind of respect for the sheer chaos he caused.
It's a lot to process.
And if we sort of zoom out, connect this to the bigger picture, this grandpa's decision, it really highlights this growing generational friction, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, the traditional value of, inherited stability of the family home, passing things down, versus a maybe more modern focus on personal experience, immediate joy, grabbing life now.
Right. Which legacy matters more, the house or the memory?
Exactly. It forces you to ask what truly holds more weight. Is it that promise of stability, or is it pursuing a moment of just pure, unadulterated joy, even if it kind of upends everything?
So what does this all mean for you listening? Does hearing this make you want to, reevaluate your own bucket list?
Or maybe quickly Google cheap flights to California.
Maybe. This deep dive into one grandpa's truly epic adventure. It definitely makes you wonder, maybe you should never, ever underestimate an old man with a Facebook account, a paid-off house.
And a favorite band that still tours.
Apparently, I'm toxic now because I won't work for free.
We take loads of info, articles, research, personal stories sometimes, and boil it all down for you. Figuring out workplace expectations and, dealing with pressure to work unpaid hours. Setting those boundaries.
Yeah, and our main source today is it's this really vivid personal story from Reddit, from Rantework. The title kind of says it all. Apparently, I'm toxic now because I won't work for free. So we're going to unpack what happens when your actual contract hours slam up against that, hustle culture, and how that word toxic can get flipped on people just trying to protect their own time. Okay, so let's paint the picture. This person, the Redditor, is a content strategist. Mid-sized marketing firm, Cleveland. Standard hours, right? 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, all laid out. But then the demand started creeping up. Little things at first, like quick favors pinging on Slack at 6:30 p.m. Or, can you just edit these slides at 8 p.m. for meetings they weren't even in?
Right. That slow creep is really common. It often starts small, testing the waters. Exactly. And then came what they called the spreadsheet incident. It's Friday. Almost quitting time, like 4:50 p.m. And the boss described as having the emotional regulation of a caffeinated squirrel.
Huh. That's quite a description.
Right. This boss demands a whole new angle for a client pitch, due Monday, which basically meant tossing out the entire week's work and, working the weekend.
Oh, wow. Classic Friday afternoon bombshell.
Totally. And the Redditor just says, oh, sorry, I have plans this weekend.
Yeah.
By plans, they meant, life, laundry, groceries, maybe watching some Netflix, not client work.
And you can just feel the temperature drop in that room.
Instantly. The boss gets all passive-aggressive. Well, they say. We all have to make sacrifices sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the implicit pressure really ramps up. It frames refusing unpaid work as not being a team player. Your personal time suddenly seems less valuable than the company's immediate, maybe manufactured urgency.
Yeah. And the fallout was real. Monday morning. Total frost. The boss, who apparently did redo the pitch over the weekend, starts the meeting by saying something like, some of us didn't feel the need to be team players this weekend, so we're a little behind.
Oof. Public shaming, basically.
Pretty much. And after that, the Redditor became that person.
Yeah.
Left out of lunch invites, overhearing whispers like, well, she's just not committed,
That social isolation is a powerful tool to pressure people back into line.
For sure. Then there was another incident. A client emails at 9:15 at night. The Redditor sees it, knows it can wait, replies promptly the next morning at 9:15 a.m.
Perfectly reasonable during work hours.
You'd think.
Yeah.
But it led to a quick chat with the boss, questioning their work ethic.
Ah, the work ethic card.
Yep, but the Redditor stood firm, said, my work ethic is fine, my work hours are 9 to 5.
Good for them. Sticking to the actual agreement. And this often leads to that other common corporate tactic, right? The boss's big argument was, apparently, we're a family here, and in a family, you go the extra mile.
Exactly. And the Redditor thought, yeah, this family stuff is just like code for we want free labor.
It absolutely is so often. It uses emotional language, loyalty, belonging to justify expecting uncompensated work. It's very effective at blurring boundaries.
But here's the kicker. Despite being labeled toxic, this person's actual work quality and output didn't change. They hit all their deadlines, delivered good work during their paid hours.
Which really undermines the whole lack of commitment narrative, doesn't it? It shows the issue wasn't performance. It was availability for unpaid extras. And interestingly, this stance, it had a ripple effect, a positive one.
Yeah, this part's great. So the longer the Redditor held their ground, just working their hours, others started doing it too, quietly.
How so?
Like someone else might forget to check their email over the weekend. A few others started packing up right at 5 p.m.
Ah, so seeing one person successfully set boundaries kind of gave others permission?
Seems like it. It shows how one person sticking to their contract can actually empower others, subtly shifting the team norm away from constant availability.
That's powerful. It challenges the idea that you have to sacrifice personal time.
And the story culminates in this really nice moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, Friday again, 4:55 p.m., the boss drops another quick task. But this time, 3 coworkers just looked at each other, closed their laptops together, and walked out right at 5:0.
Wow. Collective boundary setting.
Right. And guess what? The presentation still got done. On time. During work hours. Imagine that.
Imagine that indeed. Work getting done within the agreed upon time.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here for you listening? I think this deep dive really highlights how, in some parts of corporate America, being called toxic might just mean you're well, unwilling to be exploited.
Yeah, it's a harsh label for simply protecting your contracted time and your well-being. And that leaves us with something to chew on, maybe? How much of that extra mile we hear about is truly teamwork? And how much is just an unspoken expectation for free labor? And maybe more importantly, what happens to a workplace culture, to morale, when setting perfectly reasonable personal boundaries is seen not as professional, but as a threat? Something to think about.
I accidentally found my stolen motorcycle in my neighbor's garage.
Okay, so picture this. You're living in, a really quiet suburban spot in Ohio. Pretty predictable place.
Right, where maybe the biggest excitement is someone's recycling bin getting knocked over.
Exactly. Now imagine your absolute pride and joy, this customized 2018 Yamaha MT-09 motorcycle that gets stolen. Right from your driveway.
Oof.
10 months ago. You did the whole thing, police report, insurance claim, which wasn't great, payout-wise. And you've sort of reluctantly moved on.
Made peace with it as much as you can.
Until last week. You're just walking the dog, beans, your beagle mix, and boom, you look over and there it is, your bike.
In the neighbor's garage.
In the neighbor's garage, see it.
2 doors down.
Wow. Just wow. That's an incredible situation, finding something you treasured literally right under your nose again.
But it's not simple, is it?
No, It immediately spirals into this really tangled legal mess, especially when this idea of a good faith buyer pops up.
Right. So that's what we're diving into today, this totally bizarre case and what it tells us about, well, property law complexities. Exactly. How does something so seemingly clear get so complicated?
Okay, let's get into it. The owner recognized it instantly, right? This wasn't just any MT-09.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He knew this bike inside and out.
Yeah.
Had it for 3 years, kept it pristine. The recognition was immediate.
What details jumped out?
Well, specific things. The exact black aftermarket rims he put on. A tiny scrape on the right side. He remembered tipping it over 2 summers back.
Ah, okay. That kind of personal mark.
Precisely. Plus, the distinct blue tank, same decals, even a small dent near the gas cap from when he dropped a wrench. Little things only an owner would likely know intimately.
And the sticker.
And, maybe the most unique thing, this cartoon hot dog sticker he'd stuck on the back fender. He said it was just unmistakable. His bike, no doubt.
Okay, so the shock hits, then what? He needs proof, right? You can't just accuse your neighbor.
Right. Instinct kicks in. He needed a plan. Played it cool, didn't confront Steve right away.
Just smart.
Yeah. Went home, started digging through old files. He needed hard evidence.
Like the VIN.
Exactly. Found the vehicle identification number, that unique code, plus the original registration papers. Mm-hmm. Found hundreds of photos, too, him with the bike.
Photos help, definitely.
And get this, even a video from last summer where you could clearly see the license plate.
Yeah.
So he's got ammo now.
Okay. So the next day?
Next day, takes Beans for another walk, phone ready, and, jackpot. Steve's garage door is wide open this time.
Perfect opportunity.
Yep. Snapped a few quick photos, got the bike, the sticker, everything, and walked straight home.
And called the police.
Called the non-emergency number, laid it all out.
So police get involved. They come out, take his statement, look at his proof. You'd think that would be it.
You really would. The officer took his proof, seemed straightforward, but then, later that night, Steve shows up.
The neighbor at his door.
Yep. Shows up at the owner's door.
Uh-huh.
And he's holding something.
Don't tell me.
The hot dog sticker. Peeled off.
No. Seriously?
Seriously. And Steve claims he bought the bike 3 months ago. Off Craigslist. In good faith.
Ugh, there's that term. Good faith buyer. What does that actually mean in this context?
It means, legally speaking, someone who buys something without knowing it's stolen. They genuinely believe the purchase is legitimate. The law, in Ohio and elsewhere, sometimes offers protections to these buyers.
Even if the item is stolen?
Even then, it complicates things significantly. And Steve apparently leans right into it. He actually challenges the owner. Says something like, if it's yours, why'd you let it sit in my garage for 3 months before saying anything?
Wow. Audacious.
And he claims he has a bill of sale. Basically tells the owner, talk to my lawyer.
So despite the owner having the VIN, the registration, the photos, Steve's just refusing to give it back.
Refusing without a court order. He's digging his heels in, citing this supposed bill of sale and his good faith purchase.
So it's stalemate, a really frustrating one.
Completely. The bike is physically there, 2 doors away, a constant reminder. But legally, it's in limbo, untouchable for now.
The police are involved, insurance is involved again, but nothing's resolved.
It's a sort of legal catch-22. The VIN matches, the proof seems solid, But this good faith claim throws a wrench into the immediate recovery process. It often shifts the burden to the original owner to pursue civil action, which costs time and money.
This whole thing really does show how messy property law can get, even when things seem black and white.
Absolutely. Who knew a hot dog sticker could become, like, a key piece of evidence in a potential legal fight? It highlights the hurdles you can face, even with secondhand buys that seem innocent.
So what's the takeaway for you listening? If you find yourself in a situation like this, either as the victim or maybe even unknowingly buying something stolen.
Documentation. Meticulous documentation is absolutely critical. Keep everything. VINs, serial numbers, bills of sale, photos, videos.
Yeah, that paperwork isn't just clutter, it's your defense, especially if you run into this good faith buyer issue from either side.
Exactly. It shows that even clear proof like a VIN match doesn't always guarantee a swift resolution. The legal system has these layers, these protections for transactions that can create real challenges.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about the hidden complexities just below the surface of everyday life. How much do we really know about what's happening, legally or otherwise, even just 2 doors down?
Thanks for being with us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.